Coming up on this edition of Two Right Turns, we're joined by TJ Parker, Will Helt, and Sammy Brown. We're recapping Senior Day and Military Appreciation Day. We're building our perfect Thanksgiving plate, and we're giving out marriage advice. Two Right Turns starts now.
You take those two right turns, and when they make the final turn, you can begin to hear the crowd and the noise of the open end of the stadium.
Here it is, the most exciting 25 seconds in college football.
Hello, everybody, and welcome inside Studio C of the Clemson Athletics Branding Institute for another episode of Two Right Turns, a Clemson football podcast. I'm your host for this episode, Ross Taylor, joined by three guests from the Clemson defense. As we go around the room, if you guys wouldn't mind introducing yourself with your name, position, jersey number, and hometown.
My name is Will Helt, number 13 defensive end. I'm a junior, and I'm from Carmel, Indiana.
My name is TJ Parker. I play defensive end as well. We're number 3 and occasionally 63. I'm from Phoenix City, Alabama, and I am a senior.
My name's Sammy Brown. I play linebacker, number 47. I'm a sophomore, and I'm from Commerce, Georgia.
Well, and we'll get to the jersey numbers in a little bit, TJ. I think you're only 97 more numbers short of hitting for the cycle of every number you could possibly wear. I think you're up to 3 in your career, and with 0 getting added. So, we got a little bit of work to do if you're going to get there. But we wanted to obviously recap this last weekend, Senior Day, Military Appreciation Day, and quite frankly, just one more chance to be in Memorial Stadium in Death Valley. Shout out to the fans and the way they showed up and the way they continued to show up all year amid, I think, what we could fairly call some disappointment at times, but the support that we've received throughout this year has been incredible, just in the way that I think everybody appreciates that they only get 7 opportunities to be in that kind of special environment. How much have you all appreciated the way the fans have continued to show up and show out in Memorial Stadium this year?
Yeah, I think for me, especially being the new guy around here, it's been special to see how the fans have shown up through thick and through thin, but really enjoyed my experience in Death Valley this year.
Yeah, kind of piggybacking on what he said, I really enjoyed just my 3 years being here. Just no matter what we went through, we was going to have a sellout crowd that was going to be engaged at all times. I can even go back to my freshman year when we was 4-4 against Notre Dame, and it wasn't looking too good for us from everybody doubting us, but we got off the bus and we ran to the hill, top of the hill, and there was not a seat empty in sight. And that just goes to show like the love and support that the fans have for us, and I really appreciate it.
It's been cool to come around the hill, like on the bus, and you get that first view of the crowd, and it's like, whoa. Like every home game this year, it's been like that.
It's right when you take that second right turn, right, that you can finally start, and you start to see the upper decks a little bit. So Coach Sweeney makes all of the staff go down the hill for their first game on staff here. And so for me in 2018, it was actually against Furman, ironically enough, the season opener. And I would not have a full appreciation of understanding of what you all are saying if I wasn't on that last bus for my first game. And you make that turn, and then all of a sudden, and there's like the wall of noise that comes with it. Because for the most part, it seems like you're kind of like zoned out, locked in. You don't hear much on the bus, but there's something about that second right turn, right?
Yeah.
And so we want to talk a little bit about the job you all did in getting the fans up and out of their seats. And so we're going to take a look at the video. We would implore those of you who are listening to us by audio only to join us on YouTube or Clemson Plus so you can see what these guys are seeing. And we're going to start with the first career reception of one Samuel Brown. Tell us what you're seeing.
So, drop back into coverage. I actually ran into the ref. If you run it back, I dropped into coverage and run right into the ref. The back judge was like right where my drop was supposed to be. That guy right there.
He's kind of bent over?
Yeah, right there. That guy. I ran right into him, and I was kind of mad about it because I didn't get as deep as I wanted to, and I was reading off the quarterback's eyes. And as soon as he was about to let go, I was like, okay, I'm about to intercept this, but please don't drop it. Like that was the one thing because I had a hard cast on my right hand, and I low-key struggled with catching the ball with that thing on. So I was just like, please don't drop it.
That's one of those too, because you were right in the lane, but it wasn't really like a contested catch, so to speak. Is it almost harder to do that whenever you have more time to like, please don't drop it?
Yeah, because it was like there was nobody around me, and he threw it right to me. I was like, oh my gosh, if I drop this.
Well, there was a little bit of reaction on the sideline too. So, Joe, let's go to this next video and hear what we heard.
I thought he was too.
Yeah, so I won't even go to Sammy here. We'll go to TJ and Will on this. I mean, this is a guy who scored, what, like 1.5 million touchdowns as a running back in high school. Should he have scored on that play?
You know, me personally, I think he could have. You would have gave Buddy a move. Quarterback wasn't going to catch you. Nah. When I turned around, he was moving. I thought you was going to score all the way. But you could have got that done. You played running back your whole career.
I really thought about like being selfish and trying to like U-turn all the way up to the other side of the field. Like, you know, I don't get a lot of opportunities with the ball in my hand, so I was like, I got to make the most of it. But
I think a lot of us believe the ball will be back in your hand sometime soon, whether it's this season or into next season. That I think we'll have an opportunity to see 47 in the end zone once again, make it feel like the old high school days. So we'll go next to Will Helt's career-high 6th sack of the season. Will, tell us what you're seeing coming around the edge.
Yeah, just got a good jump on the snap on this one. They were kind of using a similar cadence all night, so just got a good jump on it, made my move, and ball was right there, so just went for the ball. Honestly, that was the only thing I was thinking about. I wasn't really focused on taking him down, just getting that ball out and turning him over.
Do you immediately see that ball coming around the corner?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's like a pot of gold as a DN. That's exactly what you're looking for when you bend that edge.
TJ, can we get a grade on this little like hop celebration that we've got from Will right here? Little skip and a hop?
Hey, man, look, that's his celebration. He did on all of his sacks.
That's the signature. That's his
signature right there.
You see AV off imitating me. I thought that was funny when I saw that replay.
Let's get a grade here.
See, look, you see him right he try to do it too. I love it though. I love it.
And then TJ, for you, I mean, what are you able to see when you're coming around from the other side? Do you say like, all right, Will's got this? Do you just look up and see the ball on the ground? Like, what are your memories of this?
Well, at first, so it's 3rd and forever, and they try to cut me, so I had to play the block and then do my assignment. As soon as I look up to finish what I was doing, the ball was on the ground. Now, I didn't even see that there was plenty open field for me to scoop and score. I just thought about just jumping on the ball, get the ball, you know, and celebrating with Will. But after I went back and watched it, it could have been a 2-for-1 DN play. DN sack, forced fumble with a touchdown. So I shot myself in the foot on that one, but I was just happy he made the play.
That's pre-practice right there. That's pre-practice walkthrough.
That's the first drill we do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and credit to you guys. I mean, those are truly momentum plays. One of the things I remember from when I was in the NFL, one of the things that stuck with me is basically a sack is just a tackle for loss with better branding. But when you get the ball out and create the turnover, that is truly, difference making and momentum changing. So credit to you guys for coming up with the first of the takeaways in the game there. We'll go next to the top of the hill. And TJ, just want to talk about your emotions as you got to the top of the hill for senior day, which you had the opportunity to go through by virtue of you graduating this upcoming December. Let's go ahead and give it up for that, for getting the job done academically. But want to hear from you not only your emotions in that moment, knowing that you will have a decision to make at some point, but also tell us a little bit about why the unique jersey number this week.
Man, the moment I walked up, and touched the rock for the final time, it was like everything hit me. Like the past 3 years, it kind of like all flashed in my head as I was running down the hill. And it was just like, man, I made so many great memories, met so many great people. I met my wife here. It's been amazing. And just to run down the hill one more time, it was special, especially being with the people I love and around the people I love. So it kind of hit me at once. I was like, dang, I got to the bottom hill. Like, that was it. And obviously now I wore 63 this game. My dad, military appreciation. My dad was in the military for 11 years, and he wore 63 in high school. He played offensive line, defensive line. He was all state at both. So it was just like no better way I want to do than to honor him and wear his jersey number. I still got his high school jerseys hung up in my room, so I was super excited to do that one.
Well, and tell us why it was special to be able to honor him on this particular game.
Man, just wearing the all purple, the military. Like, my dad, he grew up a Clemson fan. He always wanted to go to Clemson. So it's like, for me to wear his number and to see his, the last name that he blessed me with, run around the field and playing, I feel like, a part of him got to play that game too. So. And
he was an 11-year Army veteran, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So thank you to Sergeant Tommy Parker for his service to our nation and for you being able to live out his dream. Really, really cool to see him honored in that way. There were 29 players who ran down the hill. I guess 28 if you subtract Walker Parks, who had to be honored down on the field because of his injury. But we had one other senior, so to speak, that got honored after 29 years as the head of strength and conditioning. So Joey Batson got to rub the rock and run down the hill solo for this game. What has Coach Batson meant to the three of you all in your time here, which some of you longer than others, but what have your relationships with him been like?
Yeah, obviously for me, it's only been a year, but it's been a great year. I'm thankful for everything he's done and what he's built. It's been special getting to work with him and learning from him, and I'm just blessed to have been able to work with him in his final year especially. Sammy
and TJ?
Man, my dog, man, I love him to death, man. I appreciate the hard work, that he makes us go through, and just everything he's taught us, just learning different things about my body and how to always improve in the weight room and always have that work mentality, your hat and your lunch pail, bring it to work every day. And I just really appreciate that because, being tough on and off the field, it matters. And just showing his compassion for us and how much he loves us by the way he spends time with us, not only in the times it's mandatory, but even on Sundays or even Saturdays during the summertime, he's there with us working out, always bringing laughs and fun and just be able to soak up the information, that he's bringing and all the stories. It's just, I love him to death and I appreciate him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a lot of people know this, but growing up, I heard a lot about Coach Batson because he was actually my dad's strength coach at Furman.
Yeah.
Really?
So I've got a picture of it. It's Coach Batson, my dad, and Dooley all together. I've got a picture of all of them together. So, growing up, I heard a lot of very interesting stories about Coach Batson. So it was really cool to get here and be able to be under his wing and learn so much from him. But, I've definitely heard some interesting stories. I heard he pulled a water fountain out of the wall one time. So,
okay.
So he definitely he doesn't have that fire anymore, but he definitely does bring it sometimes. Y'all remember this summer he made us do 50 up downs before we warmed up.
That was this year.
Yeah.
That was like January. I remember that. He said it all calm. And then he just started ramping up. And next thing you know, we got to 35.
Oh, yeah.
When we stopped, I just knew we was getting 50.
We got to 20. I was like, all right, we might be done. And they said, hit. I was like,
yeah.
I'm going to disagree with something you said. You said he doesn't have that fire anymore.
No,
he don't got to bring it out as much.
Discretion is the better part of
control.
He knows that, for the ticker, he's got to be careful of when he can turn it on.
It's still in there.
That fire is burning. It's just a matter of whenever he can shoot it.
Yeah.
So, I do want to ask, though, so I feel like probably in the last 15, 20 years, awareness of the importance of strength coaches has, I think, come to an all-time high. Not that people didn't think they were important before, but because of the sheer amount of time they spend with you all and the amount, y'all probably see your strength coaches more than you see your position coaches or the head coach. That is someone who, by virtue of the way the calendar works, really sets the tone and the tenor perhaps more than anybody. And that is one of a head coach's most important hires. Mm-hmm. And so looking ahead, I just remember the first time Coach Sweeney told the room that Dennis Love was going to succeed him, the place went bonkers, especially for you guys being on the defensive line. What can you tell our fans about Dennis Love?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, TJ and I, that's a special thing because obviously he's a defensive line guy. He works with us day in and day out, but I'm so happy for him. He deserves it. He's earned it. He brings it every day. And he's gotten the best out of us. He's pushed me to new heights, and I'm excited for him moving forward.
Man, where I start with that boy D-Love, man, that's my guy. On and off the field, I can go to him by anything, but he always challenges me to be a better person, a better leader, better football player, and he shows me the experience behind it, because he's been in every situation you possibly think of. He's won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's won a Natty or not. I don't know. But he's been at every level, and he succeeded at every level, man. He won it just as bad as you do. If you want to come in right after a game, early morning, he there. Saturday mornings before you got to go work camp, he there. No matter what time it is, if you want to work, he going to work with you. And he always going to push you and find ways to help, working out and training be better for a part of your game, because he's always learning. So that keeps us always learning. And I just really appreciate him.
Well, it's great because you get the best of both worlds. It's a guy who came up through the Olympic sports side at Clemson. So, I mean, he's worked his way up here, but also at the same time, he's done it at the highest level. He did it with Von Miller in Super Bowl 50. Won a Super Bowl there. He's been pursued by the Minnesota Vikings before deciding to stay here to take this job. So you get a guy who in one sense is homegrown, but who has also gone out and spread his wings and done everything and decided this is the place he wants to be. And Sammy, is it cool for you to see someone like that ascend into that role?
Yeah, I think Will said it best. Like, he's going to bring the best out of you no matter what the circumstance is, whether it's, Sunday lift after a game or it's a winter workout where, you got to bring the juice. He's going to be the same person no matter what the workout is, and I think that's really special. I think you need a certain type of person in that strength and conditioning role.
Well, we'll talk a little more ball later. Right now, we want to take a quick pit stop, courtesy of our friends at Darlington Raceway. And this is Thanksgiving week, so this is going to be a very simple yet very difficult question. If all three of you are building your perfect Thanksgiving meal or Thanksgiving plate, what's going on it?
Shoot, I mean,
this is the hardest y'all have had to think this whole podcast.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
go ahead then.
There's so many options.
Boom. You start with the plate right. You got to go turkey. You got to go ham, mac and cheese, dressing, collard greens. And you got to go a dinner roll. You got to put the gravy on top of the dressing and the turkey.
Yeah.
Right.
And the mashed potatoes.
I don't even go mashed potatoes. And after that.
And see, there's the controversy.
See, I don't really too much like mashed potatoes like that. So, boom, that rounds off the plate. And then, I wash it down with either water or a Sprite occasionally. But then it's Thanksgiving. You gotta go sweet potato pie, couple slices of that, and then boom, you good.
Do we have a white meat, dark meat preference on the turkey?
Nah, it don't matter.
A little bit of both?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So comparing, how are we changing up what he said as a standard here?
So I'm definitely going dark meat. I think it's a little more juicy, a little more tender. Got to get the mashed potatoes in there. Green bean casserole for sure. Cornbread has got to be in there. And then my grandma makes this Jell-O with little marshmallows on top of that.
Okay.
Every year I got that. And then with the gravy goes over everything.
Yeah.
The turkey, the mashed potato, everything. And then dessert, got to go pumpkin pie. Whole lot of Cool Whip, not Ready Whip. Got to be Cool Whip for the pumpkin
We're brand
pie.
loyal here.
For sure. And then
That's an ad plug.
yeah. And then we also make a little pie that's got just like this chocolate pudding in Cool Whip.
Okay.
And it's like graham cracker base. Yeah, that's the dessert right there.
So I like TJ's plate. The only thing I'll say is you got to add mashed potatoes. I feel like that's a signature. And then, like Will said, you got to put gravy over everything. But collard greens, yeah.
You got to throw hot sauce on the collard greens, though.
Oh, okay.
That's what adds the flavor to it.
Yep.
Come on.
I'm used to a little more of the vinegar. I hadn't seen the hot sauce plate. That's a nice move.
Yeah.
Respect. Good stuff, TJ. That segment was presented by Darlington Raceway. I hope to see you at the track that's too tough to tame in 2026, starting with the Goodyear 400 weekend, March 20th through 22nd, and again in the NASCAR playoffs with a cookout, Southern 500 next Labor Day weekend. Log on to darlingtonraceway.com for your tickets. Now back to Two Right Turns. All right, well, we want to bring it back to last game. For those who were watching me wearing the Military Appreciation Day hoodie from this past week, which is actually sold out through Clemson Tigers store online, just heavy demand for this. But I want to hear from you all. I mean, TJ, obviously we talked about your father, but it seems like there's, beyond university buy-in with Clemson being a former military institution, beyond our fans, it seems like the team and staff take a particular amount of pride in Military Appreciation Day, and it seems like there's a lot of buy-in from this group. What is it that you all think you all connect with so much for Military Appreciation Day, and which parts of it do you really, truly enjoy?
Yeah, I think it goes back to just this university, 100%. Just the history here. We had the general in the other day, and he was telling us a bunch of stories about some former players that were here that served, and I think it comes from the top down. Just the respect that we have for people that have served, and 100%.
Ain't gonna lie, for me, every person that I've met here that's has something to do with the military has always been good to me. Even one of my favorite professors, Sean Haney, shout out to you. She was in the Marines, and I loved her to death. You know what I'm saying? We had the same moral standards, just about life and how to treat people, and it just correlates with my life. So I really appreciate Anybody that was in the military, because, they were kind of aligned.
I think there's just a lot of military history on the team and the staff. Shout out to Daniel Boyd and Jason LeMay for serving.
That's
right.
I just think a lot of the players on the team, have family or friends that served in the military. My grandfather served in the Korean War, and then my great-grandfather was in World War II. So I just think everybody, if not everybody, has some kind of connection to the military, and I just think it's really special that, we're able to honor them here.
Well, and Will, you mentioned this. After Thursday's practice last week, we were joined by General Jay Raymond. And for those who don't know, he was the first chief of space operations of the U.S. Space Force. He's a 1984 Clemson graduate. And if my notes are correct, he's a 4-star general who is the highest ranking military leader in any branch of service to graduate from Clemson. So they didn't find just anybody to come in and chat with you all. But one thing he said, I want to get this right. He said, perseverance is the earplugs that keep the sirens of failure from taking root, which is a really deep and profound thing to just drop in after a Thursday practice. But I remember that connecting. And obviously this season has taken some perseverance. What did that message mean to you all as you heard it?
Yeah, I think that definitely struck this team just based on the mentality that we have here, and the fight that we've had this season. We just continue to battle no matter the circumstances, and the harder it's gotten, the tighter we've gotten. And I think that's what's special about this place and this team.
I could agree. To tune out the noise, whatever expectations people had for us, throw it out the window. We have our own standard, and no matter what, we've always battled through. This team's never quit, and obviously we got a couple more games to go. And each week we get closer and closer. So that's what I just really love about this team. We fight to the end, and we just get the job done.
Yeah, I think it's similar to the fishbowl mentality. Keeping it within this team. We're going to fight no matter what, and we can't let the outside noise affect what we do. So I think it's putting the earplugs in and tuning everything else out and just continuing to fight.
Well, this senior class that was honored on Senior Day has meant so much to this program, and just really tight relationships between that class, not only within the class but with the entire team. I mean, it seems like a group that's really connected to everybody in this building. But Sammy, I want to talk to you in particular about your running mate at linebacker who ran down the hill for the last time this past week, and that's Wade Woodaz. How much has he meant to you in your own journey here over 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, he really just took me under his wing when I first got here, and I was able to learn so much from him about, how to study, how to play, how to practice, and he's just been really good to me. I can remember when I first got here, and it was, me, because I was the only early enrolled linebacker, so I was kind of just on my own, and him and Barrett kind of just took me under their wing and were able to teach me so many things about, this university, this game, how to practice, how to study, and it's been really, really good to play alongside him, and I'm definitely going to miss him. It was really a surreal experience to, play with him one more time in Death Valley.
All right, we're going to take a second to open up the fan mailbag presented by the South Carolina Department of Social Services. Learn more about public adoption in the state of South Carolina by visiting dss.sc.gov. Our first question's for Sammy, and Sammy, we heard at one point that you wanted to be a doctor. Is that still true? And if so, why?
That is still the plan. I'm a biology major. It's definitely tough. It is definitely not an easy major to have. But, growing up, my mom is a pediatrician, and I've just always, kind of grown close to her and what she does. And I think it's really interesting to learn, about the body and the ins and outs of medicine and all that. So I actually want to become a pediatrician. I feel like I've always been good with kids growing up, and I've got a ton of cousins, and I've always hang out with them. And then working in the kids camps over the summer, that's always I always look forward to that. It's always really fun. So I just kind of combined both of those together and got pediatrics.
Well, and you've got a head coach who had a similar story. He was going to school to become a pediatrician until he kind of got called the football way.
I actually did not know that until he said it a couple weeks ago. I had no idea that he wanted to be a pediatrician.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. TJ and Will, you think you guys will be adding any extra studies in biological sciences moving forward?
No, sir.
Not for me.
He got that one.
You got that. I'm going to stick on the business side of things. That's more my speed. But
that's sports
I respect you, though.
No, but I mean, honestly, Sam, it is really, truly impressive. I mean, one, to stay afloat in that major, but to be excelling academically the way you are. And I know you don't want any spotlight for that. You won't talk about it, and you don't have to, but this is me saying that personally. Tremendously well done, and keep it up.
Appreciate it.
Next, we go to Will. You have a full slate of Clemson home games under your belt. Was there any, I mean, you mentioned the fans and just how all 7 games, I mean, just the way they showed up. Is there any part of the Clemson game day experience that surprised you the most?
I think, what you were saying, which is how loyal the fans were throughout the year. The FSU game comes to mind, that night game. Man, that really blew me away. That was a pretty sweet game. But other than that, the fourth quarter video, I knew people talked about it, but I hadn't really seen it until like we got into the season. So that was pretty cool. But other than that, man, it just gets rocking in there. It's pretty sweet. The fans show out, but a lot of fun.
And on the fourth quarter video, we'll see what happens. This is me personally lobbying that even as Coach Batson moves on, the speech needs to stay.
Absolutely. Sure. I was thinking that like even before the season started, like, man, are they gonna make D Love say it?
So have you guys ever seen the movie Rudy? About Notre Dame. So there's one part at the start where Rudy's a kid or whatever, and he's just reciting Newt Rockne's speech. Since the back half of 2018, when that speech debuted, and that speech really became famous in that 2018 Syracuse game where Trevor got hurt, Chase Bryce had to lead us from behind to win. If we don't win that game, we would not have gone to the ACC championship. Probably would not have been able to play for a title. And this is a team that went 15-0. Like, that started the legend of the fourth quarter video, that game. And I remember late in the season, like in November, so the video hadn't even been around that long, our fans in the stands were reciting the video along with it. And if y'all have noticed, like, our students will still do that to this day. They will yell, put championship rings on smooth hands. So
gotta go earn it.
We'll see if I have any kind of like sway or power or leverage. But it sounds like you all agree with me that like even if Batson is not on staff, the speech needs to stay in the fourth quarter video.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. All right, I may call you guys in for backup if I need help on that one. All right, next we're going to the defensive ends. TJ and Will playing the same position along the same D-line. What have you guys learned from each other, and what have you tried to take from each other's games?
Man, to be honest with you, I try to pick his brain on like how he rushes too, because he does some things that I wouldn't more so do, or he has a more free will in his mind to do certain things. I try to watch what he does, or whether that's go back in practice or go back in games, and just kind of study him and see how his rushes work, just to kind of see if I can copy some things or add it to what I do to kind of, always figure out, how to get better.
Yeah, I think for me, especially when I was getting here, I knew we're a little bit like, we're both good players, but we're a little bit different, and we have different skill sets. So yeah, like he said, I think picking each other's brain was huge this offseason and just pushing each other to be better. But especially in game has been really huge. Just having that guy across me that I know I can get information from. What are you seeing from this guy? What's there? What move is there? What have you been winning with? How are you going to keep attacking him? Like what is his set looking like? So that's been really great to just gain that knowledge from him and just continue to get after it.
Well, I'm going to insert my own question here just while we're talking about the DNs. Coach Sweeney just announced last night, unfortunately, Jaheim Lawson will not be available this week, but talk about a guy who made a jump this year and really a true impact. What have y'all seen from Jaheim at that position this year?
Man, just his boost of confidence, man. Just watching him from when I first got here to now has been drastic. Him and Denhoff.
Yeah.
Just looking at the confidence that he's have of him believing in himself and being able to do it, and the work he's put in this offseason is really showing. And every game he plays, he gets better and better, and which I really appreciate. And I'm so happy for him that he's having the season he's having. I hate that, it came to end right now, but I'm just glad, he's had a great season and he's got motivation for the offseason to push and go even harder.
Yeah, it's been awesome being a part of our room. I'm so grateful for the room and the coaches that we have. Cade and Ja have been dogs for us, man.
Absolutely.
And I hate to see the way that Ja's season has ended, but man, I mean, what a big step he's taken, and I'm praying for him and his speedy recovery. But he's the life of the room, and we love him to death.
Absolutely. You hear that laugh a million miles away.
Yeah. That's contagious.
My brother.
That guy just doesn't seem like he has a bad day.
No, he doesn't.
Well, and Sammy, I mean this as he seems a lot like you, where just every time you watch him on the field, it just looks like he's having fun. And that's not to say you're not doing the work and it's not hard, but like you just look like you're having fun playing football.
I feel like every time I see Ja, he's smiling. And I feel like that's just the epitome of who he is. I feel like he just loves everything that he does, and I feel like it's reflected in how he plays the game.
Mm-hmm.
Saw him around the building yesterday on crutches, and he still had that megawatt smile going. So I think we could all learn from that. But we'll go back to our last question from the fan mailbag. And favorite Coach Sweeneyism, and we will say bonus points if you don't say, I will do what I can while I can, so I will not wish that I would have when I could have. Because that seems to have taken the pole position as number one for everybody.
I really like that he has taken on the 6'7" role as of recently. He's really loving that as of recently.
Sweeneyism. Let me see. Which one do I want to do?
Good morning, Mercy.
That's a good one. You know,
that is a good one.
I love when he says, I mean, what are you doing? That's one of my favorite ones. I've been mimicking that one since I got here. I'm trying to think of something else.
That was actually the first one that came to my mind. But because of the story that came to my head from when I first heard it, because I remember when I first got here, everyone's talking about how he has all these little sayings and everything. And I remember the first time he said that, he started saying it. I still don't have it memorized, but he everyone else started reciting it with him, and I was like, "What is going on?" I was like, "I don't know what I joined."
Is a really good one.
Crockpot's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do like that one.
Because then with Braden Jenkins, you didn't get to go in the crock pot. We just put you right on the plate.
What was the one that Danny Poole put in the? He said it during Friday meetings.
Danny Poole put the quote in ChatGPT and was like, "What does this mean?"
Yeah,
it was a coined phrase.
It might have been that. I don't know. I feel like he's got so many, and I'm really ashamed that I can't think of them right now.
Yeah, I know.
That's the thing. So there were so many, and they were so equal for such a long time. But I swear, in the last 5 years, probably around the time that the team started reciting it back to him, that just took off as everybody's favorite.
Go to.
DJ Uiagalelei always liked, there's 2 days that matter, today and that day.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
facts. Oh, you know what? I was about to say, let somebody's rear lights be your headlights.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That was one of my favorite ones, especially early
And
on.
the tree with the shade, we're enjoying the shade of a tree that somebody planted before us. He's really used that one. I really like that one. That's a really good one.
Which is actually the second week in a row that's ended up on this podcast, because Tristan Lee was talking about how the offensive line has taken it personal this year to try to plant a tree, the shade of which they may not get to enjoy by virtue of the way the season has gone, which I thought was really profound.
Yeah, I really like that one because, it's true. We are planting trees right now that people later on down the road will enjoy the shade of.
There are children of all ages in South Carolina who are in need of a forever home. Many are teens, siblings, or have complex medical needs. Public adoption through the South Carolina Department of Social Services can not only be life-changing for them, it can be life-changing for you too. When you provide stability, guidance, and support, you're giving a young person the foundation to succeed. Learn more about public adoption in South Carolina at dss.sc.gov. All right, so we'll close up the mailbag here, but before we get back to talking ball and looking ahead, it's not all that often that we have a player podcast where I am not the only married man in the room. And so I just, as we look at this couch over here, we've got one married man on the left and an engaged man on the right. So TJ, do you have any wedding planning or marriage advice for Will coming up?
Man, enjoy the process. And I'll tell you this, don't listen to nobody when it comes to any advice unless you see them having a successful marriage. Keeping it real, because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to have something to say, and they're going to think you're too young to do some certain things. They're going to think you should do it this way, that way, follow what you guys want to do, and y'all will make it work. And the people who aren't happy, they're in it for the wrong reason. You know what I'm saying? And just have fun with it. Do everything at your pace, at your time. Don't feel like you're in a rush to do anything. And if you feel like the time is right for you and her, do it. And don't be apologetic about it to anybody. So.
Well, and that brings up a Sweeneyism we missed. Don't take criticism from people you wouldn't seek advice from.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good one. But
that is a good one.
And so, Will, have you guys set a date yet, or is that still to come?
Still to be decided.
Yeah.
Spring of 2027, somewhere around then. But just on that note, it's been cool for TJ and I to have that just this past year to have that going for us together.
Thanks.
Honestly, that's really cool. Congratulations to both of you on TJ on your wedding and Will on your engagement. Really, really happy for both of you. And TJ, real quick, just tell us a little bit about your wife and her story here at Clemson.
Man, so her name is Asia Daly or Asia Parker now. That's always great to say. She played volleyball here. I met her when I first got here, probably a couple months in, and she ain't want nothing to do with me. But you see how that turned out. She didn't know who I was. I was a freshman that just got here.
Pursuit has always been one of your strengths.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I'm saying? I had to chase her down a little bit. But yeah, man, I love her to death. She's my best friend. We do everything together. We're like two peas in a pod. And she's the life of a room. Every room she steps in, she's always great to people. And everybody can attest to it if they've met her. You know what I'm saying? She's always one of the cool people. She hangs around. She's like one of the bros. Like that's what Peter called her. He called all my friends that hang out with us. It's like you hanging out one of the guys with her. And I just love her to death. She does a lot for me, and she makes my life easier and just allows me to play free in football. And she kind of handles and holds down the rest. So shout out to the queen of the house.
Well, looking ahead to this week, I imagine there's not a lot that needs to be said about the upcoming opponent or having to refocus in any kind of way. I feel like, as Coach Sweeney says, this game is always a season and a goal unto itself. How do you all feel like the focus has been as we sit here, midday Monday taping this podcast, looking ahead for Saturday?
Hey, I cannot wait. We didn't get it done last year, and this rivalry is deep. Especially when I first got here, I had no clue what it meant, and I found out quick what it means to people around here. If you don't know, go lose it.
Yeah. If
you don't know how people feel about it, go lose it.
We'll host first one.
It's your first one. You're going to see some things you ain't never seen before, and then you will instantly get sucked into the rivalry just like that.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say for right now because we got some work to put in. It's only Monday.
Well, and talking about Will playing in his first Clemson, South Carolina game, I do also want to take a moment to recognize this and appreciate this. Going into this year, I don't think continuing Clemson's bowl streak was necessarily number one on the list of goals everyone was looking to achieve this year, but with the adversity that this team had to be able to come back and reach bowl eligibility, and Will, with some of the struggles your former team had in your first 2 years here, for the first time in your career, you're going to play in a bowl game. What does that mean to you?
Hey. Yeah, man. It's special. I've more than doubled my career win count. I, even though this year hasn't been up to the standard around here, I've been blessed to enjoy this year, and 6 wins is the most I ever had, and I'm excited about the bowl game. Blessing to be a part of this team.
And guys, for just like you said with the South Carolina game, if you don't think it means much, go lose it. I think it's the same way with bowl eligibility. If you didn't think that mattered, be the first team, in 27 plus years not to be eligible for it. You'll find out real quick. I mean, like I said, it wasn't the number one goal on anybody's list, but for this team to rebound the way it has, and for guys who have, Sammy, you've played in a college football playoff, not necessarily a specific bowl game, but you made it to the college football playoff, which credit to you on that, obviously, over the bowl game. And TJ, you've had the opportunity to do both, more of a traditional bowl week your freshman year, college football playoff last year. How much pride have you all taken in that response?
Yeah, man, I think it's just a reflection of this team and the guys in the locker room that, no matter what happened the week before, that we're going to come back to work on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and we're going to put in the work, and we're going to give it all that we got on Saturday. And I just feel like that's kind of been the reflection of this whole year, is like we haven't had the year that we wanted, but we're still fighting. And I feel like as the adversity has gotten harder, we have grown closer together and we've fought more.
I think it really showed our character as a team. I feel like it'd be easy to just, we started 3-3 or something like that. It's easy to pack up and just forget about the season and just think about next year, think about leaving and things like that. But this team dug our feet in the ground and kept going. And like Sammy said, that just goes to test of the work we put in the off season and just how bad we want it. So
well, and you were saying 3-3, you were 3-5, and you had 3 teams that this team lost to last year still on the schedule. And so, like you said, just credit to this team for staying together and choosing to fight when it would have been really easy for everyone to just start looking after themselves. All right. Well, as we wrap up here, obviously our fans want to stay in contact with you guys. Where can they find you online?
We'll help on whatever.
You go on Instagram, just type in Tomarion, TOMARRIONNN. And I just want to plug my wife's button making company, all about A Customs. She makes game day gear, hats, shirts, hoodies, buttons, anything you need for her game day. She got it. She can make it. So,
Sammy?
Shout out _ Sammy Brown on Instagram, but also check out All In Outdoors. We've been kind of slacking on videos in the fall, but we're gonna pick it back up in the spring. We'll shoot some hopefully some turkey hunting videos, and definitely a lot of fishing videos. So check it out.
I don't think anybody that follows you and in our fan base will begrudge you for having your focus elsewhere during the fall. I don't think anybody will be mad about that. Will, TJ, Sammy, thank you guys so much for taking the time today, but also just the love and care that you all have put into this season. I mean, we've talked a lot about the adversity and the decisions this team had to make, and we really appreciate the leadership role that all three of you have played. Obviously, 3 different stories. The older yet new guy, the guy who's been here 3 years, bona fide dude, the mega recruit in his second year who had, known college football playoff berth last year, and for all 3 of you to lead in your own unique ways. We really appreciate that.
Man, thank you.
Appreciate that.
We appreciate you always having that info on deck. Coach Sweeney, he yell out something from 2000. I don't remember. Here you go with it.
Yep,
instantly.
right on deck.
That takes skill too. People don't understand that. So we give you credit for all the knowledge and stuff So we thank you.
This is about the only time anybody will see me in this building without my laptop pulled up in front of me of like, what is he about to ask? And just trying to rapidly search stuff as he's talking, trying to figure out where he's going.
Impressive.
So
That's definitely impressive.
No, I appreciate y'all saying it. So that's going to wrap us up from Studio C, the Clemson Athletics Branding Institute. Make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned for the next episode of Two Right Turns, a Clemson football podcast.